Okay, but you see, in all of this, profiled people that you've just listed, we haven't seen anybody that comes from the legal aspect, from the judiciary, because we know that that's one of the things they actually highlighted in their report, that the courts, that the legal system is actually a little shaky as well.
Well, that would be an understanding to say the legal system is shaky. But when you say that there's nobody, yes, in the council that they just appointed, I don't see anybody with a strong legal background. But the issue is that what they want to address is that what are those areas of weaknesses? If we talk of the institutional weaknesses and we say, look, the legal framework is very weak. The cost and time it takes to enforce contracts is too long or too expensive. The cost of registration of titles is too high and too expensive. Then we need to look at how do we improve the legal system. All they just need is to present that to the president. And the president, because remember the legal arm is a different arm from the executive. The president will now have to work with the legal arm of the three arms to see how to improve the efficiency of the legal system. But beyond the legal system, there are several other administrative weaknesses we have. Like I did mention, the time it takes to register companies is a major factor. The time it takes you to make a credit search is one factor you have to consider. The cost of accessing information from the government, the bottlenecks that are created by government officials in terms of corruption, those are factors you have to look at when you talk of the institutional framework. And it is not just a matter of, okay, let's bring somebody from the legal units of government to do that. These things are very clear. I think the committee members, like I did mention Michael Porter, the committee members have the capacity to advise government on those reforms that we need to implement so that we'll improve on our competitiveness in those key structures. Infrastructure, I mean, it's no-brainer. You do not have light in your country.
But we're working towards that, of course.
We're working towards that. You do not have, there's no single superhighway in this country. We have not started, the government said they are building a standard gauge rail from Abuja to Kaduna. We don't have a single standard gauge rail. Of course, there is also a rail master plan in the works. And I know they're also carrying out some feasibility studies on some of the routes that the rail master plan is supposed to take. These infrastructural deficiencies, if you don't address them, your rating will, at best, improve marginally.
But you know, these challenges are not only being faced by Nigeria. There are other countries as well that face these challenges, and their rankings weren't dropped as low as Nigeria's was. Yeah,
but you could see where they are doing, making some progress. Take, for instance, a country like Ghana. Ghana seems to have made a lot of progress in terms of educational standard. And one of the factors that the World Economic Forum observed in the current rating is that quality of education has overriding impact on a lot of other of the 12 pillars. The quality of education determines how innovative your country is. It determines the availability of the appropriate labor to service the demands of the real sector. It determines the level of innovativeness. It determines the level of entrepreneurial skills you would have in that country. It determines how quickly your country adopts new technologies. So for countries that have focused on improving the quality of the educational system, they will find that they will leapfrog in several of those other pillars. Because that alone influences a lot of other factors. Okay. So you could see why you could say that maybe this country has not improved in terms of infrastructure and may not have improved so much in terms of policy environment, but has jumped ahead of us in terms of rating. Because by improving the quality of education, they will improve the quality of healthcare. Because educated people are likely going to take care of themselves. They will improve on even issues of entrepreneurial capabilities. So that factor, from what they said in their report, should be the focus of a lot of government.
Talking about the parameters that we use to actually, judge how stable the country was in terms of competitiveness with other countries. Now, for the ranking, we got for the best ranking in market size, rather, we were scored the 32nd best country. Is this something to be excited about in terms of the other numbers that we've seen?
Well, the way I would look at it is one factor that you could say it's a natural factor to us. We don't really need to do anything to maintain our market size. Because by virtue of our population, about 170 million people, you have a huge market. Our market, like I did say earlier, is only second to South Africa in terms of size. Second, South Africa, because South Africa has higher purchasing power. I mean, South Africans have higher purchasing power than Nigerians. But in terms of the spread, Nigeria has a bigger market in the sense that we have a larger population. So, and one of the pillars that World Economic Conference Forum uses in measuring the Global Competitiveness Index is the market size. And by virtue of our population, we have a huge market size. And why is it that market size is critical in competitiveness? Because the market size will determine the demand factors. Okay. And if you have a strong demand,
that's external demand or internal demand?
No, internal demand, consumption, the demand, the level of consumption in the economy. Right. Once you have a huge population that have strong purchasing power, or when your per capita earning improves, you find out that, look, your market size will be a major pool for companies to set up in your country, will improve your competitiveness. And why is it so? Well, like I normally tell my friends, if you are in the consumer goods business, the size of the market is so huge. Like the demand factor in this country could be bigger than countries as rich as Britain. Because if you are in the consumer goods sector, and you produce items that are low cost and low price, you could have demands stretching up to 40, 50 million of your goods for your goods. If you look at companies like the company that produces Indomie, that is one of the factors that is driving them. If you look at the Dangote, you see that Dangote has, apart from the cement industry, has been very strong in the consumer goods sector, sugar and all the rest. And that sector is one sector where Nigeria has a strong pull. And that's why Nigeria's rating is the strongest of all the rating in terms of that. But like I did say, we don't really need to do anything to improve. We only need to improve on the per capita income of Nigerians. We need to reduce the level of unemployment so that more people will have disposable income, and then you find out our market size will keep improving. But we need to address those other sectors, other factors that we need to take concerted effort to improve, like the infrastructural deficiency, the policy environment, the legal policy environment, which includes the legal framework, the administrative framework. The administrative framework includes issues like I mentioned earlier, the time it takes you to clear goods at your wharf, at your ports, the time it takes to register titles, the time it takes to enforce your legal rights, particularly issues related to contract, because there's a time value of money, the issue of time value of money. Then we need to also look at the issue of quality of primary health care and quality of primary education.